And we are live. Let's see. Snatchy Tank says, "Sir, you're late, bruv. When is it starting?" Here we go. Not late anymore. Not late anymore. I was just 1 minute late starting. But guys, we are now live. Let me know. Can you hear me? I'm just going to check that things are running smoothly over on the other platform. Motivation. Beautiful temptation. Hello, Lincoln New. Hello, Yashi. Hello, Speedruns and Tricks. Beautiful. Guys, today is our foundation paper. It's been very highly requested from people saying, oh man, you're always doing higher. So here we are on the foundation grind as well. We're going to be doing the June 2023 paper 2. Even if you're doing higher, this is still going to be good practice. Obviously, right? It's not going to be as tough as the higher paper, but it's still good practice. The second, or kind of the final third of the paper will be the overlap section. So that will be the first part of the higher paper. So definitely good practice over there. Hello, Mirage. Hello, Surplus. Hello, Prince Lim, Snatchy Tank. Hello, HZ says, hello. Guys, talk to me. How are we doing? How have our days been? Can you tell my voice is a little bit sore? Shake it. James R says, when's the hairstyle tutorial? Has been highly requested. So maybe I'll talk a bit about that at the end of the session. We'll do a little bit of a Q&A. I don't think this paper is going to take the full 2 hours, honestly. Normally we get done with the foundation sessions in about an hour and a half. Let's see. I need to get a better arrow than that. Maybe I'll make it a little bit longer. We're going to be starting in just a couple of minutes. Get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack, because it is almost time to lock in. Quite a lot of people asking when the higher paper is. Guys, no higher paper today. We're going to next be doing higher tomorrow. So there's only one stream today. It's a foundation paper. We're going to be doing higher again tomorrow. Prince Lim says, see you tomorrow. Yep, higher tomorrow, guys. Maybe I'll put that as a note. Let me see. Just on the screen before we get going. Yeah, I can swap that probably. I'll swap that for higher tomorrow. I'll make that visible. I'll unlock it. I'll move it up a bit. Hopefully that helps anybody who's higher. So higher again tomorrow. Doesn't look the best on the screen there, but hopefully that helps. I see Taylor in the chat. Welcome, Tazamoto. Good to have you on. Snatchy Tank says, what? Yeah, back on the higher grind tomorrow. Leo Stanford said, you've really helped me with my exams. Hey, my pleasure. Glad I could help. Mirage says, adios. Good luck to everybody who's sitting foundation. Come on. Snatchy Tank says, you ain't gonna get no viewers. Well, if that's the case, that's the case. If there's 50 foundation students who join, that's perfect for me. It's important that we do both. I don't just want to help everybody doing higher. It's true, we do more higher papers than foundation. But today, we are going to be focusing on foundation. We'll be back on the higher grind tomorrow. Anybody who is doing higher, feel free to still do the paper. Use it as an opportunity to try and get 100%. That's what I would say. Hello, Rushkin. Mal says, you saved me in paper 1 foundation. Hey, my pleasure. Glad I could help. I can see that there are quite a few less people on today than the previous days. Maybe there's a little bit more demand for higher. We'll see. But today we are going to stick with the plan. We are going to do this foundation paper because I did commit to it, and I know a lot of people have been requesting foundation a lot. Okay, guys, let's get going. Question number 1. To anybody who is new, welcome. The format is that I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do each of the questions, and then I will go through the answers. Put your answers in the chat. and then I will explain. Question number 1. Write 6,184 correct to the nearest 100. Okay, Rushkin says 6,200, Mouse 6,200, HZ 6,200. Yep, you are absolutely right if you said 6,200. How do we do this? Well, we know that our columns are the thousands, hundreds, tens, and units. We're going to go to our hundreds column. It has a 1 in it, so we look at the next column, the tens, and because it's above 5, we're going to round up. So the 1 is going to become a 2, and we get 6,200. Question number 2, write 0.7 as a fraction. Drop your answer in the chat when you're ready for me, guys, and we will see what we can do. Well done, Nam. Well done, Valley. Well done, Rabia, Rushkin, Snatchy Tank, Heroi, Mal, HZ, Nam, Michael, DG, Caden. Okay, quite a few answers going in the chat. We have 7/10 from HZ, from Mal, from Rabia, from Rushkin. VO2 in the chat as well. Come on, come on. Good to have you, VO2. Right, 0.7 as a fraction. What's it going to be? It is, in fact, 7/10, guys. And the way that I would recommend doing this is actually to just type it into your calculator and hit equals. It's probably going to be reversed. But if you type it in and hit equals, if I go and go like that, maybe, then you're going to get 7/10. Good work, guys. Next up, question number 3. Change 9 meters into centimeters. What do we think for this one? Okay, if you haven't already, consider following and subscribing and liking, all that jazz. I don't normally say that, but I know there's quite a few of us watching at the moment over on the TikTok. Welcome if you're new. Snatchy Tank said, sir, I have your playlist. Awesome. Okay, I see Mal says 900, Rushkin 900, Michael 900. Yeah, nice. Oh, people can hear the music. Oh, I need to turn it down a bit then. Okay, 1 click, cool. So 9 meters into centimeters. How do we go from meters to centimeters? Well, we're going to need to know how many centimeters are in a meter. 1 meter is going to be equal to 100 centimeters. So going from 9 meters into centimeters, we're going to do 9 times by 100. That is going to give us 900 centimeters. If you got that one, nicely done. On to question number 4. Simplify 3 times by 4t. Well done, Sam. Well done, Rabia. Well done, Mal. Well done, Michael, for that last one. Okay, quite a few people dropping 12t in the chat. Guys, you're absolutely right. It is, in fact, 12t. How do we do this? How do we simplify this? Well, we're going to need to do our number times by our number, and then we can just write our letter next to it. So we do 3 times by 4, that gives 12, and then we have our t. Next up, question number 5. Here is a list of numbers. One of these numbers is a multiple of 25. Which number is it? Drop your answer in the chat for me when you have one. Good work, Yorkshire Dad, Michael, DG, Issa. Good job, HZ. Good job, Impact Shorts, Lincoln New. Guys, if you are saying 100, then you are correct. Then you are correct. Why is it 100? Well, what is a multiple of a number? It's a number which that number goes into. If we were going to write out the multiples of 25, it would be 25, 50, 75, 100, etc. And we can see that 100 is a multiple there. So which number is it? It is 100. So we did 25 times 1, 25 times 2, 25 times 3, 25 times 4, and so on and so on. Okay, team. Let's move on to question number 6. It says, on the probability scale, mark with an X the probability that Shari gets a number 7. Now I'm going to just write this on because you need it kind of printed out to answer it. Let's see what we can do. Shari has a fair ordinary dice. She rolls the dice once. Well, if it's a fair ordinary dice, the numbers go from 1 to 6. So from 1 to 6. So what's the probability of getting a 7? Well, it's going to be impossible to get a 7. So what's our probability, chat? What on softly? What on VO2? Cassie Bruck. What on Rabia? Michael Nam Rushkin. Yes, guys, it is in fact 0. It is impossible. Whenever something is impossible, the probability is going to be 0. Okay, next up, part B. On the probability scale, mark with a cross X the probability that Shari gets an even number. Let me know, chat. What do we think? What do we think? Okay, I can see a lot of people putting half in the chat. Michael says half, softly a half. Nam Huang says half. Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right, guys. It is in fact a half. Why is it a half? Well, if we think about the numbers on a dice, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Which ones are going to be our even numbers? It's going to be 2, 4, and 6. So our probability is going to be 3 over 6, which is a half. Okay, 5 seconds to screenshot if you'd like to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 7. Although we are going to skip this one. We're only going to do part C. And the reason is because they were measuring questions, which we can't really do on the without having the paper printed out. Hey, good to have you on VO2. And what I will say is the chat can be unmaths related, but it does have to be appropriate. Guys, a little bit of a sore throat. So the chat can be unmaths related, like you guys can chill a bit and talk about whatever you want to talk about, but it has to be appropriate. That's what I'll say. Nice. DG says isosceles. Nam says isosceles. Mal isosceles. If you said isosceles, you are absolutely right. So the question says, write down the mathematical name of this triangle. And it says that the length QP, so this one here, is the same as the length QR. What do we call a triangle which has two sides which are the same? We call it an isosceles triangle. Okay, moving on to question number 8. 3 marks up for grabs in this one. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Issa said, how has your day been, sir? My day's been very good, thank you. My day's been very good. I have been nursing my voice a little bit because it's wearing thin and I need to pull through for you guys till Tuesday because we've got a lot of lives on Monday, Tuesday. But yeah, day's been very good. Thank you. Day's been very good. How about you? How's your day been? Okay, question number 18. I can see Yorkshire Dad saying 96. I can see Nam Huang saying 96. I can see Rabia saying 96 as well. Let's have a look. The question says the diagram shows 3 motorway service stations, P, Q, and R on a map. Very creative. The map has a scale of 1 centimeter, is 4 kilometers, and then it says work out the real distance from P to R. How are we going to do this? Well, we're going to need to work out the total distance in centimeters and then times it by 4, and that's going to give us our number of kilometers because here we can see we times by 4. So first off, our total number of centimeters, we're going to have this. And then we're going to do our 24 times by our 4, and that is going to be 96 centimeters. 96 centimeters. Didn't mean that. What I meant was 96 kilometers. So yeah, we start off by working out our total number of centimeters, and then we times it by 4 to work out our number of kilometers. And obviously, guys, I did it in my head, but you guys can absolutely use the calculator. So use the calculator for that multiplication. Okay. Next up, Question number 9. Let's have a look. It says, here are the first 5 terms of a sequence. Write down the next term of the sequence. What do we reckon, team? Okay, let's keep the chat cool, everybody. WXRQZ. What time's kickoff? Okay, quite a few people saying 28 in the chat. DG, Softly, Rushkin, Jake, Impact Shorts. Everybody's saying that it is 28. Let's have a look. So the first 5 terms of a sequence, write down the next term. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work out how to get from one term to the next term of the sequence. From 3 to 8, we plus 5. 8 to 13, we plus 5. 13 to 18, we plus 5. 18 to 23, we plus 5. So the term-to-term rule is going to be plusing 5, or adding 5. So to get our next term, we do 23 plus 5. It's going to be 28. So 23 plus 5 is going to be 28. Nicely done if you got that one. Next up, it says write down the ratio of the second term to the fourth term, giving your answer in its simplest form. How are we going to do it? Well, what's our second term? Our second term is 8. What's our fourth term? Our fourth term is 18. Writing it as a ratio, we're going to have 8 to 18. Now converting that into its simplest form, well, we need to divide them by any common factors. 4 goes into both of them, so we'll divide them both by 4. No, it doesn't. I didn't mean 4. I meant 2. 2 goes into both of them, so we'll divide them both by 2. We're going to get 4 to 9 as our ratio in its simplest form. If you got that one, nicely done, guys. 5 seconds to screenshot, and we're going to move on to the next one. Question number 10. And this one, again, I will just go through because I know you need the paper printed out to do it. So the question says, this graph can be used to find the cost of parking a car in a car park for up to 12 hours. Use the graph to find the cost of parking a car for 4 hours. How are we going to do it? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a number of hours on the x-axis, and we're going to draw a line up to our line from 4, because we need the cost associated with 4 hours. Then we're going to draw across to our y-axis, our cost axis, and we can see that it corresponds with a cost of £6. So the cost of parking a car for 4 hours is going to be £6. Okay, next up it says that Justin drives into the car park at 8 o'clock in the morning. When he drives out of the car park, he has to pay £9. Then it says, at what time does Justin drive out of the car park? So this time we're told that the amount that we pay is going to be £9. So we can start with a cost of £9, which is going to be halfway between the 8 and the 10. We can do exactly the same thing. So we can draw across to our curve or our line. Then we can draw down to our axes, and we see that it's 6 hours. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go 6 hours later than 8 o'clock. What's 6 hours later than 8 o'clock? Well, different ways we could think about this, but we can just do our 8 plus 6, which is 14, so we can think of it as 1400 hours. The other way to think of this is 2 p.m., so doing 8 plus 4 takes us to 12, then we have 2 left over to take us to 2 p.m. I would say it's actually easier to do it like this, so we add 6 hours, so it's like 0800 plus 6 hours goes to 1400. Hopefully that one makes sense, guys. Let me know. Mouse says 2 p.m. Nam Hong, 2 p.m. Snatchy Tank, good work. Yorkshire Dad, good work. Okay, Snatchy Tank, thank you for the compliment. However, let's stop putting that in the chat. Let's stop putting that in the chat. Okay. Question 11. Question 11. Now that I've seen it, you don't have to say it again. Let's see what we can do. Show that the total weight of the people in the lift is less than 1,200 kilograms. Let's see what we can do. Ben Lightdown said, lock in, bro. Exactly that. Exactly that. It's time to lock in. To anybody who's currently watching on the TikTok, I'm also live on YouTube at the same time, so consider coming over. That's where I'm focusing on the chat. So if you think it's not live or you think I'm ignoring you, it's just because I can't look at both of the chats at the same time, and I'm focusing on the YouTube chat mainly. Yeah, big up VO2, big up VO2. Okay, let's have a look then, team. How are we going to do this one? So the table shows information about the weights of people in a hotel lift. Somehow we have one person who's exactly 40, two who are exactly 50, four who are exactly 60, five who are exactly 70, three who are exactly 80, one who is exactly 90. So this is totally unrealistic. However, whatever. So show that the total weight of all of them is less than 1,200. What we're going to have to do exactly as people are doing, what on Softly, what on Ben, what on Mal, is we're going to have to multiply each of our weights by the number of people who are that weight. So we have one person who's 40 kilos, so that's a total of 40 kg. Two people who are 50 kilos, so that's a total of 100 kg. We have 4 people who are 60, so that's going to be 240. And guys, do this on the calculator. 70, or 5 people who are 70, that's 350. 3 people who are 80, so that's 240 kilos. One person who's 90, so that's 90 kilos. Next step, we're going to add all of these together. So 40 plus 100 plus 240 plus 350 plus 240 plus 90. We're going to get 1,060. So that's our total weight. The question says, show that the total weight is less than 1,200. And now we can just say 1,060 kg is less than 1,200 kg. Now, if you wanted to, you could absolutely write it like this. That means the same thing. We've just written it with kind of algebra and inequalities instead of writing it in text. Well done if you got that one. If you didn't, consider revising your frequency tables. That's what this is. If we were going to work out the mean weight, we would now divide by the number of people. So we'd add the number of people together and divide by that to find the mean weight. Question number 12 says shape A is reflected in a mirror line to give shape B. And then I'm thinking it's going to say on the grid, draw the mirror line. So I'll just do this one because it's a bit hard to do without having the paper printed out. What we're going to do is we're just going to look at what line goes exactly halfway between both of these. So the easiest way to do this is going to be to pick this point, which is on the before and after, and then to just go halfway between them. So it's going to be the point here. We could do that with another point. It gives us a point, and I'll just put a cross there actually. And then we can do that with the other points, and it's going to look like this. So we can then just draw a line which goes through those points, and we go to Bosch, and that is going to be our mirror line. So there we just drew a line exactly halfway between the shapes. And to be honest with you, the easiest way to do that is just with inspection. It's just by looking at it. Okay, next up, it looks like we have a part B. Okay, nice. It's a explain the mistake. Let's have a look. What's Alex done wrong? The question says Alex is asked to reflect shape P in the x-axis. Here is the diagram that he draws. Then we're asked to explain the mistake that Alex made. What do we think, guys? What mistake has he made? Lincoln New, very nice. Gaming Galore, hello, good to have you on. Nicely done, Mal, nicely done, Softly. Yeah, fantastic, guys, fantastic. So unfortunately, Alex is wrong. Why is he wrong? He has reflected it in the y-axis. So if we think about it, he tried to reflect it in the x-axis, which is this line here. He started off with shape P. If he reflected shape P in the x-axis, it would be down here. So this is what he should have drawn. But he accidentally reflected it in the y-axis. So I'll say Should be there. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, guys, hay fever's getting me, man. Hay fever's getting me. Okay. Next up, question number 13. Thank you, Lincoln New. Thank you, Psyche. Thank you, HZ. Uh, now my face is going to be bright red for the next minute. Okay, question 13, team. Let's see what we can do. Ben says hay fever is so bad. Yeah, I tried taking a new, like, different type of hay fever tablet, which actually worked really well, but now it seems to not be so effective, to be honest. Couple of people. Oh no, Issa says saying I missed a question. Which one did I miss, Issa? Yeah, Psyche said hay fever tablets for me are so useless. They don't do anything. Yeah, so most of them are useless for me. There's a type, a specific type called this, Alevia, which, guys, normally I don't take tablets for anything. I don't take paracetamol. I don't take ibuprofen. I don't take any medications. Personally, I believe in natural remedies. I do take, like, vitamins and supplements and stuff, but no, like, pharmaceutical um, no pharmaceutical like treatments. Obviously, in some cases, you need that stuff. But if you can avoid it, I would really recommend it. However, hay fever tablets low key, they're essential. They're essential. Let's do question 13 though. I've given a bit of time for this. So it says there are 50 teachers in a school. This is 1/16th of the total number of people in the school. Then we're asked to work out the total number of people. So if 50 is 1/16th, to work out the total number, we can just do that number, 50, times by 16 to get the total. It's going to be 800. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. Yeah, 800. So there we had to reverse engineer it. This Alevia, this is the hay fever stuff, which is actually very good, to be honest. Okay, so that's that one. Good job, Mal. Good job, Ben. Good job, Issa. Okay, next up, question 14. This is our first long one. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do this, and then I'll go through the answer. So 4 marks up for grabs. Psyche said, "Wait, why are we timesing it? I think I read it wrong." Yeah, so the reason that we times it is because we have to go from 1/16th of the total to the whole total. So it's like if you say 1/2 of a number is 20. So 1/2 of a, oh, not a twice. So 1/2 of a number is 20. To find the original number, we have to do the opposite of a half, which is timesing by 2. So to find the original number, we do 20 times 2, which is going to be 40. That's the same as that last one. So in the last one, we said 1/16th of a number is 50. In this one, we say 1/2 of a number is 20, and we have to do the opposite of finding a 16th, which is timesing by 16. Mal said similarity is my worst lesson. This is, you could say this is similarity, but I would say the best way to do this is kind of with logic, I would say. Kind of with logic. No worries, Psyche. Oh, guys, I didn't put the Google review link in. How long is this? I'll put it in the chat now. No, I'll do it later, actually. Don't worry, Gaming Law. This one should hopefully make sense after I go through it. Okay, guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one for me. Issa said this looks tough. This one, guys, hopefully will make sense after we go through it. There's a couple of different ways to think about it. Just deciding which way I'm going to explain it. Any questions, let me know in the chat. And when you're ready, type ready for me and we'll go through it. Softly's ready. A lot of people saying that this one's tough. Yeah, this one is tough, eh? Okay. Let's have a look, guys. I can see a few people are ready. What are we going to do? It says that packets of sweets are put into boxes. Each packet is a cuboid, which is 80 millimeters by 60 millimeters by 20 millimeters. Each box is a cuboid, which is 72 by 48 by 24. We're asked to work out the total number of packets that can be put into each box. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to work out how many times this goes into this. We're going to work out how many times bigger the volume of the box is than the volume of the packet. Okay? How many times bigger the volume of the box is than the volume of the packet? Okay, well, how are we going to do that? First off, let's work out the volume of the box. So the volume of box, so volume of the box. How do we work out the volume of a cuboid? We do base times width times height. So we times them all together. 72 times 48 times 24. I'm going to type that into the calculator. 72 times 48 times 24. We're going to get 82,944. And that is going to be centimeters cubed. Centimeters cubed. Now, we look at the packet and we can work out the volume of this as well. However, we see that the units are different. So we're going to firstly convert this into centimeters. Then we have a like-for-like comparison. So we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters, which means that this is 8 centimeters. This is 6 centimeters. And this is 2 centimeters. So we can say that the volume of the packet well, this is going to be 8 times 6 times 2, which is going to be 96, I think. 8 times 6 times 2. Yep, 96 centimeters cubed. Final step then, to work out how many times bigger the volume of the box is, we're going to do our volume of the box divided by the volume of the packet. So how many times bigger is it? $82,944 divided by 96 is 864. So this is going to be our answer. So 864 times, this is how many times bigger it is. So this is how many can fit in. The other way to have done this, would have been to do 72 divided by 8 to work out how many times it goes acrosswards. Which would have been 9. 48 divided by 6 to work out how many times it goes in that way, which would have been 8. And 24 divided by 2, which would have been 12. And then to multiply these ones together, 9 times 8 times 12, and that would give the same number of 864. Okay, so 2 different methods there for the same thing, and it works because the volume goes in an exact number of times, or the shapes go in an exact number of times. Okay, 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to Question number 15. Let me just check quickly how many questions are in the paper. 28. So we're over halfway already, team. We are on smoke. Okay. 15. 15, 15. Here is a fair ordinary dice and a fair 8-sided spinner. Charlie throws the dice once and spins the spinner once. Is Charlie more likely to get a number less than 3 on the dice or a number greater than 5 on the spinner? You must show all your working. What do we think, team? WXR says, wait, last question. Why did you do the volume of the packet, not the packet? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but maybe if you phrase it in a different way, you'll I'll be able to answer. Gaming Galore said these questions put me off. Yeah, I know these ones put a lot of people off. It's when they give so much information, right? Drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready, team, and we'll go through it. Nice to see the mods doing a great job. Okay, question 15. I can see quite a few people saying they're ready. Yeah, I agree, Psyche. Anybody has the permission to, yeah. Okay, question 15. Here's a fair ordinary dice and a fair 8-sided spinner. Charlie throws the dice once and spins the spinner once. Is Charlie more likely to get a number less than 3 on the dice or a number greater than 5 on the spinner? What we gonna do? Well, what's the probability of getting a number less than 3 on the dice? So probability of less than 3 on the dice. Well, our probability is going to be the number of ways we can do that thing out of the total number of things that can happen. How many ways are there to get less than a 3? Either we can get a 1 or we can get a 2. So there's 2 different ways. How many things can we do in total? Well, dice has 6 sides, so there's 6 different things. What about the probability of getting greater than 5 on the spinner? So probability of more than 5 on the spinner. Well, how many numbers do we have in total? We have 8. How many of them are more than 5? It's 3 of them. So 3/8. So the question is basically what's greater, 2/6 or 3/8? Now, the best way to do this is going to be to convert them both into decimals. And we can just do that on the calculator by clicking change. And when we do so, 2/6 is going to be equal to 0.333. And 3/8 is going to be equal to 0.375. So I'm just going to move this to the left a little bit. Bosh. There we go. So which one is he more likely to get? He's more likely to get more than 5 on the spinner. And what's the reason? As the probability is higher. Hopefully that one made sense, guys. And obviously use the calculator for those probabilities. I did it in my head because I've done this for a very long time, but you guys should absolutely use a calculator. Okay, moving on. Question number 16. Man like Paolo, driving for an average speed of 56 for 1 hour and 45 minutes. And we're asked to work out the distance that Paolo drives. I don't know if you guys can hear me clicking my neck when I do that, so sorry if you can. It's probably not the nicest sound, but I'm a little bit sore. I'm a little bit sore. Can see quite a few people asking about my grades and that kind of thing. Um, I will answer. Well, now that I've said that, I have to answer. So, um, in my GCSEs, I got 12 A stars. A levels, I got 3 A stars, and that included maths and further maths. And then uni-wise, I went to one called LSE, London School of Economics, and I did econ, did economics. Okay. Question number 16. What do we think, guys? Drop your answer in the chat. Okay, essay writers got one. Okay. Okay, lots of answers going in the chat. Let's have a look. So the question says that Paolo drives at an average speed of 56 kilometers per hour for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Work out the distance that Paolo drives. I can see a speed, a distance, and a time. I'm straight away thinking of my speed equals distance over time formula. Or as a triangle, we have speed, distance, and time. We know that we need to work out our distance. How do we work out distance? Well, distance is on the top, so we can say that distance is equal to our 2 on the bottom times by each other. So distance is speed times time. So we're going to need our speed and we're going to need our time. We have our speed, 56 kilometers per hour. What about our time? Well, our time is 1 hour and 45 minutes. At the moment, though, it's not in hours, and our speed is in kilometers per hour. So we need to convert this into hours. How do we do that? Well, 1 hour is already an hour's 45 minutes. How do we go from minutes to hours? There are 60 minutes in 1 hour, so we divide by 60. So we can do 45 over 60. On the calculator, is going to be 0.75. So 1 hour and 45 minutes is going to be 1.75 hours. So we can do 56 times by 1.75 on the calculator. That is going to be 56 times 1.75. That is going to be 98. 98. Nice. Good work, Yorkshire Dad. Good work, the essay writer. Good work, Mr. Shadow, CJ. Good work, Softly Fardo. Good work, Wix. Good job, Issa. Nicely done, guys. Okay, moving on. Question number 17. We have 4 marks up for grabs in this one. 4 marks up for grabs. Any questions for that one, let me know. Hamza said, why did we do 45 over 60? Yeah, really good question. So we did 45 over 60 to convert from minutes into hours. So because there are 60 minutes in an hour, to go from minutes to hours, we can divide by 60. We can divide by 60. Guys, can you tell, by the way, that my voice is a bit croaky? I don't know if you can tell on the stream, but in real life, my voice is hella croaky. I need to keep sipping my water. Random said, yeah, bro, your voice is so bad. It's definitely not. It's definitely not its best. Okay. What does this gold button do? Okay. Psyche said my brain shut off when I read this question. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be feeling that way. HC said continue drinking water. Yeah, I definitely need to do that. Okay. Question 17. Let's do it, team. It says there are 3 cinemas, A, B, and C. The mean number of seats per cinema is 380. There are 350 in cinema A and 250 in cinema B. We're asked to work out the number of seats in cinema C. Okay, how are we going to do it? Well, if we can work out the total number of seats, then we can take away 350 and 250, and that's going to give us the number in C, right? So how can we work out the total? Well, if there are 3 cinemas and the average is 380, that means on average, they have 380 each. To work out the total, we can do the number of cinemas, which is 3, times by the average, which is 380, and that is going to be 1,140, I think, 3 times 380. Yeah, 1,140. Now to work out the amount in C, we can do that total amount, 1,140, minus the 350 in A and the 250 in B. 1,140 minus 350 minus 240. That is going to give us 500. Wait, did I write that down wrong? Yeah, I typed it wrong in the calculator. Yeah, 540. Beautiful. 540 is going to be our answer to that one. Well done, Lincoln New. Well done, the essay writer. Well done, Yorkshire Dad. Yeah, superb work, guys. Good job, Ghost of Marley. Man's been doing too much English lit revision. Okay, moving on. Question number 18A. Softly said 4 marks for that. Believe it or not, yeah, 4 marks for that. If anybody has any more questions for that last one, let me know. Noah15 says, how was economics at uni? Personally, I loved it. I'm a bit biased because econ's my favorite subject, but I guess that's the only reason you would do it at uni, and I really liked it. Good job. Random says, I'll lock in for this hour. Yes, sir. Get locked in. Okay, question 18. Let's have a look. The question says that Asher buys 180 cans of cola. We're told the cans are sold in packs. There are 12 cans in each pack, and each pack is £3. We're asked to work out the total cost of the cola that she buys. How are we going to work it out? Well, the total cost is going to be the cost per pack times by the number of packs. We know already that the cost per pack is £3. So what's the number of packs? Well, 180 cans, 12 cans in each pack. We can divide the total number of cans, 180, by the number in each pack, which is 12, and we're going to get 15 cans per pack. Not per pack, 15 packs, I mean. So we did the total number divided by the number of cans in each pack to get the total number of packs. And then we can do our number of packs, 15, times by the cost per pack of £3 on the calculator. That's going to be £45. Okay, good job if you got it. KS2499 said, very nice channel. You just gained a sub. Thanks for the great content. Hey, my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm glad it's helping. I'm glad you like it. Okay, part B. Let's have a look at this one. Another 3 marker. Another 3 marker. And then, guys, I'm going to, sorry to be jarring if anybody's been in the streams recently, but I'm going to ask for a little Google review. We need to overpower the trolls who have been rating it 1 star. Thank you, Sarah Biancamo. Actually, I have a question as well. Yeah, Psyche, I'll mention it in a sec. Let me know when you're ready for this one, guys. Random says 1 star is the best, right? No, 1 star's the worst. 1 star's the worst. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's have a look then, guys. Part B. It says, Ethan buys a box of 24 cans of lemonade for £7. We're told that there are 330 milliliters of lemonade in each can, and we're asked to work out the cost of 100 milliliters of lemonade. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to start off by trying to work out the cost of 1 milliliter. Then we're going to times it by 100 to get 100 milliliters. How are we going to do that? Well, first off, we're going to need to know how many milliliters we have in total for this £7. We have 24 cans. They're 330 milliliters each. So we have 24 times 330, which is 7,920 milliliters. We know that this is £7, so we have, let me just change color. Let's scale this down to work out the cost of 1 milliliter. Well, how do we go from 7,930 to 1? Sorry, to 20 to 1? We have to divide by 7,920. And then we're going to scale that up to 100 milliliters. How do we do that? Well, from 1 to 100, we times by 100. So we're going to do exactly the same with this £7. So we're going to divide it by 7,000. Oh, let me just go back to green. We're going to divide it by 7,920. And then we're going to times it by 100 to get back up to 100 milliliters. So first off, £7 divided by 7,920. 7 divides 7920. 7 divides 7920. We're going to get 0.00008, etc. And then I'm just going to type this into the calculator times by 100. Let me move this across a bit. So because I'm doing this with it still in the calculator, so I have it like this. I can now just times this number by 100 to scale it up. And it says 0.088, etc. Now it does say give your answer correct to the nearest penny. So I'm gonna turn this into pence by timesing it by 100 again. So I'm gonna times by 100 again on the calculator to turn it into pence, and we're gonna get 8.83, etc. pence. So to the nearest penny, what's it gonna be? Well, the 0.8 is gonna round it up. So to the nearest penny, I'm gonna have 9 pence. 9 pence. Okay. Nicely done if that one made sense for you. If not, don't worry too much because it was a difficult one. It was a difficult one. Okay, guys, I'm now going to quickly put the link in the chat for the Google review. We're going to take a quick 2 or 3 minute break. To be honest, I need to rest my voice a bit as well. And if you could leave a Google review, I'd really, really appreciate it. So I've just put the link in the YouTube chat. I'm going to pin it. So I've pinned the message there. Guys, if you could leave a review, it would really, really help me out. I really want to keep doing these free live streams. And the only way I'm going to be able to keep doing the free live streams is if I'm able to collect a bunch of these Google reviews. So guys, if you could leave a review, it doesn't take long at all. You just literally click the link, it'll take you through, and then you can rate it a number of stars. And if you could put a message, that would be absolutely amazing. And I'm just going to pull it up actually. So I'll be able to see if people leave reviews, and I'll give a quick shout out to anybody who does leave a review, just to see. Hopefully a few of you do it. Selflessly, it would really help me. It would really, really help me. The reason to do it for yourself is because I want to keep doing these free live streams, and I'm only going to be able to keep doing them if we get those Google reviews. If you're currently watching on the TikTok, the link is on my profile page. So you just click the link and it'll take you straight through to there. We're going to get started with the maths again at 2 minutes past 2. I'm just going to give a bit of time for people to leave a review. Thank you, Jahan Kisongo, just left a review. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. And I think there's quite a few new people on today. Yeah, that's another question that I'm going to quickly ask, guys. I'm going to quickly start a poll on the YouTube and say, have you been in one of the live lessons before? Yes, I have. The other option is no. Today is my first one. Normally we have quite a few more people on, I think, when we're doing the higher papers. But guys, have a vote for me. There's 100 of us still, which is a pretty good number watching on the YouTube. I'm curious to know whether it's mostly first timers or people who have been here before. Guys, somebody's rated 1 stars. Why somebody rated 1 star and put the comment as I love your lives? Maybe it was a mistake, I don't know, but the 1 star is the worst rating, not the best one, guys. Somebody rated 1 star and said I love the lives. And that's super annoying because it pulls down the average. A single 1 star really pulls down the average. Thank you to everybody who's just left the review. Hey guys, I really appreciate it. N21, Muskan, Justina, Bashar, Dhruv, Jija, Abdallah, Faris, Harvey, thank you guys. Oit, Nand. Yeah, somebody said, yeah, a mistake definitely, because what? Yeah, guys, that is annoying because it will pull down the average. So now it becomes even more important to get the reviews. Thank you, Harrison. Thank you, Vanch. Thank you, Harvey. Thank you, Mustafa. Thank you, Z. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. Vali said, "Sir, did a review using my other Gmail." Haha. Hey, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Thank you to everybody who just left a review. I'm really hoping to get over 1,000 by the end of the exam season. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Mal. Yeah, awesome. Haha, thank you, Yorkshire Dad, as well. Guys, thank you so much to everybody who just left a quick review. If you're watching on the TikTok, you can find it on the link on my profile page. Oh, yeah, okay. No worries, no worries. I the person who did 1 star, maybe it changes your review actually if you leave a new one. I don't think I can see it anymore. Ah, that's good actually. That's good. Thank you for changing it because yeah, that's good. Thank you. Thank you, VO2. Yeah, awesome Yorkshire Dad. Thank you, Lala. Thank you, Lala Lolo. What a nice name. Thank you, Stanley. Thank you, Wakas, Kimberly, CJ, Harrison, Justina, Vanch, Harvey, Mustafa Bajwa, Nan Patel. Yeah, guys, awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you, Ralph. Appreciate it. Guys, that's amazing. I'm really hoping to get back to that 5 star average because it has been pulled down by a few trolls. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, guys, let's get cracking again. Question number 19, back with this paper. So, question number 19. Let's see what we can do. Linking you in there with the lightning emojis, the MGM classic, the MGM classic. Saki says, wait, let me cook, let me cook. Get cooking, get chefing. Cat Twix, linking you. Good to have you both on. Thank you for your service. I know everybody appreciates it. Artistic Freak says, it is what it is. Yep, it's true. Okay, I'm going to give another 30 seconds or so, then we'll get going with this one. Okay. Question 19. It says 240 people work at a factory. Of these people, 150 have a car, 110 have a bicycle, 65 of the people who have a bicycle do not have a car. Okay. Use this information to complete the frequency tree. Let's have a look. So 150 people have a car. We can fill that in. This is the people who have a car, the people who don't have a car. 110 have a bicycle. Well, that doesn't really help us at the moment because we don't know whether that goes in that box, or whether it's some combination. But what we do know is that 65 of the people who have a bicycle don't have a car. So 65 of the people who have a bicycle do not have a car. So do not have a car but have a bicycle. That's 65 people. Now we can work out the number who have a bicycle and have a car by doing the total number of people with a bicycle, 110, minus the number with a bicycle and no car, and 110 minus 65, I'll actually write it like this, is going to be 45. Yeah. Now, where can we go from there? If there's 240 people in total and 150 of them have a car, how many don't have a car? Well, it's going to be the total number of 240 people minus the 150 who have a car. It's going to be 90. It's going to be 90. Filling in the number who don't have a bicycle, well, that's going to be the difference between the, I'll go back to green. That's going to be the difference between the total who don't have a car and the number who have a bicycle and don't have a car. So we can do 90 minus 65, which is going to be 25. And then over here, we can do the difference between the number who have a car in total and the number who have a car and have a bicycle. So it's going to be 150 minus 45. It's going to be 105. That is how we're going to fill in all of those. Okay, next up, what percentage of the 150 people who have a car also have a bicycle? So what percentage of the people who have a car, so that's these ones, so these are the ones who have a car, what percentage of them also have a bicycle? Well, first off, what fraction of them have a bicycle? It's 45 out of 45 out of the 150. Now writing this as a percentage, we're going to times by 100. So 45 divide 150 times 100, it's going to give us 30%. So there we started off by writing it as a fraction, and then we converted it into a percentage. Well done, Softly. Well done, Rabia. Well done, WX. Well done, Psyche. Well done, essay writer, Ralph. Well done, HZ. Well done, Harvey. Yeah, good job, TJ as well. Good job, TJ as well. Okay, next up, question at number 20. This one says, work out the value of this. Write down all the figures on the calculator display. This is a question where we just have to type it into the calculator. So I'm going to do that. Let's see what we get. 25 minus the square root of 43.87 over 6 plus 2.1 squared. Oh, I didn't type it in right. Squared. There we go. Type it in just like so. And that is going to give us 1.76527.923. And it does say all of the figures on the calculator display. Okay, next up, just a quick one, so I'll go through it. 1 mark. It says work out the reciprocal. Work out the reciprocal of 0.625. How do we work out the reciprocal of a number? What does it mean? It means we have to do 1 over that number. So we do 1 over 0.625. That's what reciprocal means. 1 over. So I'm going to type that into the calculator. 1 over 0.625. Click equals. And we get either 8 over 5 or 1.6. So you could write either of them there. Both are going to be okay. Okay. Good work if that one made sense, guys. Moving on now to question number 21. It says write 60 as a product of its prime factors. Write 60 as a product of its prime factors. Lincoln New said made sense for that last one. Awesome. Very good, Lincoln New. We're now in the higher overlap section, to be clear. Harvey said, gotta love product of prime factors. It is a classic. It is a classic. That guy says 2 squared times 3 times 5. Psyche said 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. Gonna have a quick check in on the TikTok, check everything's running smoothly. Okay, beautiful. All smooth over on the TikTok. Good to see. If you do want to interact with the chat, come over to the channel. That's where I'm focusing on it. Okay, let's have a look at question 21. It says write 60 as a product of its prime factors. When we write a number as a product of its prime factors, what do? We do our prime factorization. So I'm going to write 60 up at the top. We're going to break this down into smaller and smaller factors until all that we're left with is prime numbers. And whenever we get a prime number, we're going to circle it. Remember, guys, a prime number is a number with exactly two factors: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13 are some of our first ones. We can split 15 down into 3 times by 5, and we go bosh. Now, how do we write it as a product of its prime factors? We have to just multiply all of the numbers that we have circled. So we're going to do 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And that is going to be our answer. If it asked it to give it in index notation, we would write it as 2 squared times 3 times 5. All that index notation means is that we turn this into a power, because 2 times 2 is the same as 2 squared. Okay. Question 22. Let's have a look at this one. Good job, VO2. Hey, Sana, good to have you on. Okay. Question 22. It says there are 48 counters in a bag. There are only red counters and blue counters. The ratio of red to blue is 1 to 2. Helen works out how many red counters are in the bag. She says there are 24 in the bag because 1 is half of 2 and 24 is half of 48. Is Helen correct? You must show your answer. Helen's method really doesn't make any sense. Couple of ways to do this. We can either comment on the fact that the half is wrong, or we can just work out the actual numbers. It's going to be easier to just work out the actual answer. So is she correct? Let's see. So the ratio of red to blue is 1 to 2. This is a classic proportional division question. So we work out our total number of parts. 1 plus 2 is 3 parts in total. We do our total number of counters, 48, divided by our number of parts, which is 3. So 16 counters per part. So are there 24 red counters? Well, red counters is 1 part. So 1 part red. Therefore, there is 16 red counters. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, 16 red counters. God, sorry about that, guys. Hay fever coming in heavy. Okay, 16 red counters. Well done if you got that one. Let's see. Question 23. Let's get it done. Write down the greatest possible number of n. Drop your answer in the chat for me when you're ready, guys. It says that n is greater than or equal to -2 and less than 5. We're told that n is an integer and asked to write down the greatest possible value of n. Well, what do these crocodiles mean? Remember, the crocodile always faces the bigger number. The crocodile always eats the bigger number. So this means that n is greater than or equal to -2 or less than 5 and less than 5. Because we have the line under the inequality here, we have the or equal to. So what's the greatest possible value? N is an integer. What does integer mean? Integer means whole number. So that means that the different possible values of n are -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it can't be 5, right? These are the different possible values of n. What's the largest one? It's 4. Okay. On the number line below, show the inequality that m is greater than or equal to -4 and less than 1. How do we do this? Inequalities on a number line? Well, we start off by drawing a circle above both of our numbers. So -4 and 1. And then, because we have the or equal to on this m, we fill it in. And the way to remember this, or on this inequality, I mean, the way to remember this is because this has more ink on the page, and this also has more ink on the page. And then we join them with a straight line like so. Good job, Cat Twix. Good job. Okay, next up, part C. Oh, this is tough for a foundation question. This is tough. Hey, Neve, good to have you on. Guys, do you have the ability to completely mute people from the channel? Like, do you have the option to hide user on this channel? Do you have that option or just the timeout option? And if you have the timeout option, what's the longest timeout you can do out of interest? Oh, cool. You do have the option for hide user on the channel. Nice. Okay, cool. Lincoln, you. Thank you. Part C. Part C, part C. Yeah, guys, I say let's just hide Snatchy Tank from the channel. Ah, can you so you can hide people from the channel or no? Oh, NJ as well. By the way, I got your email. Sorry I've not had time to reply, but I'll reply. I will reply. I know it's a bit jarring. I'm just until GCSE's maths are done, I'm busy, man. I'm busy. But don't worry, I will reply. Okay. Part C. Let's get it done. It says solve 2 over 5g minus 4 is less than 6. Guys, how are we going to do it? What does this mean? It means get the g on its own. So we're going to move everything to the right-hand side until all that we're left with is the g on the left. So step number 1, we're going to move this minus 4. So we start off by moving the things which are furthest away from the g. So we're going to start off by adding 4 to both sides, which is going to cancel out that minus 4. So we're going to have 2, I'll go to blue actually. We're going to have 2 over 5g is less than 6 plus 4 is 10. Next step, how do we move this 2 over 5? Well, at the moment, the g is being multiplied by 2 over 5. So we're going to divide both sides of our equation by 2 over 5. So we're going to have g is less than 10 divided by 2 over 5. And we can type this into the calculator. 10 divided by fraction, 2 over 5. Yep, we're going to get 25. So this turns into g is less than 25. Quite a tough rearranging one there to think about. Because the g was being multiplied by 2 over 5, we divide both sides by 2 over 5. Hey, awesome, Just Rahan. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on, question 24. Oh, there's only 28 questions in the paper. I think. Let's just double check. 28, yeah. Beautiful. Question 24. 4 marks. This one's definitely a tough one. Okay, guys, you focus on this question. I'm going to disappear for about 30 seconds. I'm going to go and grab some more water, and then I'm going to come back. So I'm going to mute my mic, and I'm going to, let me just write on the screen. Actually, I'll say back in 1 min. I'm going to mute my mic. I'm going to turn my camera off. Guys, you guys get this question done, and I'm going to come back. Oh, Sana, I did actually have a lemon and honey tea last night. Actually, no, earlier today, and it helped me a lot. I'm going to have another one after the stream. Okay, see you very soon, guys. 1 minute. Bosh. Okay. We are back. Let me get my tunes back on. Very nice. Aquafina said alien abduction. No alien abductions. Quite a few people asking what the lightning bolt emoji means. The lightning bolt emoji is just a channel emoji. It's just a channel emoji. Guys, let me know in the chat when you're ready for me to go through this, and I will go through it. Thank you to the moderators doing a great job. Sauna's ready. Rahan's ready. Rabia's ready. Guys, let's have a look. Question 24. It says, here is a triangle and a rectangle. All of the measurements are in centimeters, okay? And then it says the area of the triangle is 10 centimeters greater than the area of the rectangle. Work out the value of x. How are we going to do this? Well, we need to work out the area of the triangle and the area of the rectangle. Then we can add 10 to the area of the rectangle, and that's going to be equal to the area of the triangle. So let's work it out. So area of a triangle is a half times base times height. Area of a rectangle is just base times height. So the area of the triangle is going to be a half times by the base of 8 times by the height of 6x. And the area of the rectangle is going to be a 5 times by 4x minus 1. And what do we know? We know the area of the triangle. So area of the triangle is 10 centimeters greater than the area of the rectangle. What does that tell us? It tells us that to get the area of the rectangle to be equal to the area of the triangle, we have to add 10. We have to add 10. So if we add 10 to the rectangle, it's going to be the same as the triangle because the triangle is 10 greater than the rectangle. So now we have an equation which we can rearrange, or we can work out, rearrange, calculate the value of x. So on the left-hand side, we're going to simplify. A half times 8 times 6 is 24 on the calculator. So 24x equals, on the right-hand side, we're going to need to expand these brackets. 5 times 4x is 20x. 5 times minus 1 is minus 5. Then we have our plus 10. Simplifying the right-hand side, 24x equals 20 minus 5 plus 10. is going to be plus 5, and I forgot to write that x in there. Next up, we're going to minus 20 from both sides, or 20x, I mean. We're going to get 4x is equal to 5. We move all of the x's over to that left-hand side. Then we're going to divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 5 over 4. I know I went through that one pretty quickly, guys. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions for that, actually. Lincoln U's off. Thank you very much, Lincoln U. The essay writer says bye. Neve says bye. Awesome. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay. That guy said I started by subtracting 10 from the triangle's area. That would be the other way to think about this. So you could either plus 10 to the right-hand side or minus 10 from the left. Guys, it's a tough question. It's a tough question. If it still doesn't make sense, please don't panic. It is a tough one. Okay. Question 25. 3 marks up for grabs. Good question. We might even have time for the end of the session, at the end of the session, for a little Q&A. Take says, thanks for these questions, man. Hey, my pleasure, my pleasure. Neve says, OMG, yay, can we get the hair routine? Oh, NJ said, Matt, congrats for the 24K subs now. I didn't know we were on 24K. That's cool. Maybe by the end of the... Could you imagine if we got to 30 by the end of the exam season? That would be sick. Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you, Neve. Thank you, HZ. Okay, let's have a look. I can see quite a few answers going in the chat. Last year, a family recycled 800 kilograms of household waste. 57% of the waste was paper and glass. The ratio of paper to glass was 12:7. Calculate the weight of the glass. Step number 1, let's work out the total amount of paper and glass. How do we do that? We're going to need to do 57% of the total amount. So let's go. Paper and glass is going to be 57% of 800. So we're going to do 0.57 times by 800. It's going to be 456, I think. Yep, you beauty. Okay, 456. So that's a total number of kilograms of paper and glass. Next up, the weight of the paper recycled to the weight of the glass recycled is 12:7. So now to work out the amount of glass, we're going to need to divide this in the ratio. So we have how many parts in total in the ratio? 12 plus 7 is 19 parts in total. So we're going to do 456 divided by 19 to work out 1 part. That's going to be 24. And now working out the total weight of glass. How many parts glass? 7. So 7 parts glass times 24 kg per part is going to be 168. Yeah, 168. So anybody who got that, really good work. Really good work. It's a tough one again. It's a tough one again, obviously. Okay. Next up, question number 26 and 27. And then we have one more question and we're done, guys. What a session. Okay. Question 26. Let's have a look and see what we can do. It says the number D is rounded to 1 dp. The result is 12.7. Complete the error interval. Error, error. How are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? That was my best DJ impression. My best beatboxer impression. Oh, nice, Neve. Aquafina said, are there going to be lives for paper 3 as well? Of course there are. You think I'm going to leave you guys after paper 2? No chance. No chance. I haven't confirmed the dates yet, but likely it will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Maybe. Maybe. Depends on what other exams you have. VL2 said, who wants the My GCSE Maths playlist? Yeah, I'm going to drop that at the end of the session. Okay. What's it going to be? Question 26. Well, what does the error interval mean? It means what could this number have been before it was rounded? So it was rounded to 12.7 to 1 decimal place. What's above 12.7? 12.8. What's below it? 12.6. The error interval is going to be given by halfway between each of these. So 12.65 and 12.75. So yeah, it's going to be like that. Bosh. The reason that it's that is because 12.65 is the smallest possible number that would round up to 12.7 to 1 dp, and 12.75 is the biggest number that would round down, although 12.75 wouldn't actually round down. We just get as close as possible to that without getting there. So it's actually 12.749999, but because we have the or equal to sign, we don't have to write that in. We just don't include it, and we write it as 12.75. Okay, question 27. Tamsin. What a name. Guy with no face, great question, said, should it be 12.74? The reason that it's not 12.74 is because 12.749 would also round down to 1 decimal place. And you could keep doing that all the way with 999999999. So the reason we just put the 5, but we don't include it because we don't have that or equal to sign, is to represent that. Psyche said, you listen to Afrobeats, sir. Diverse king. Come on. I do listen to a lot of Afrobeats. Really, it's turned into the My GCSE Maths music. I used to listen to Afrobeats a lot, like in my own time as well. But because I've listened to it so much during the streams, I don't really listen to it outside of the streams now. The reason I listen to it during the streams is because, guys, Afrobeats is the best energy music there is. But outside of that, I listen to all kinds of music. We can talk about it a bit at the end of the session if you want. I've had some requests for other playlists, non-Afrobeats playlists, which I'm thinking about doing. But in the meantime, question 27. Let's get it done. Drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready. Psyche said, sir, listen to Davido. Trust he's good. Davido's awesome. Davido's awesome. Davido, Sharkey, Fields, obviously Burner Boy. Okay, let's have a look. Question 27. It says Tamsin buys a house with a value of 150 grand, 1,000. The value of Tamsin's house increases by 4% each year. I'm thinking compound interest. Rachel buys a house with a value of 160,000. The value of Rachel's house increases by 1.5% a year. At the end of the 2 years, whose house has the greater value? We're going to use our compound interest formula, which is the amount at the end is equal to the initial amount times by 1 plus r, where r is the interest rate as a decimal raised to the power of t. In this case, what are we going to have? Let me rub this out. In this case, what are we going to have? Well, in the case of Tamsin, the initial amount is 150,000. And we're going to times that by 1 plus 4% as a decimal. Let me actually just go in orange. We divide it by 100. It's 0.04. So 1 plus 0.04 raised to the power of the number of time periods. So 2 years. So raised to the power of 2. I'm going to type this into the calculator. 150,000 times 1.04 to the power of 2. It's 162,240. Now, what about for Rachel? We're going to do exactly the same thing. This time, 1%, 1.5% as a decimal. Again, we're going to divide it by 100. We get 0.015. So for Rachel, the initial amount is 160,000. Times it by 1 plus 0.015 this time. Number of time periods is 2 again. Type that in. What are we going to get? 160,000 times 1.015 squared. We're going to get 164,836. So whose house is worth more? Rachel's balling out. Her house is worth more. How much more? 2,596, I think. Yeah, so we just find the difference if we wanted to. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it, guys, using our compound interest formula, that the end amount A is equal to the initial amount times by 1 plus the interest rate as a decimal raised to the power of the number of time periods. Okay. All right. Final question of the day. 3 marks up for grabs. Let's do it together, team. So here are 5 graphs. The table shows the equations of these graphs. Match each letter with its equation. Let's do y equals x plus 3 first. So this is the one we're going to do first. Guys, which one of these graphs, A, B, C, D, or E, is it going to be? Y equals x plus 3. Which one's it going to be? Is it going to be A, B, C, D, or E? That guy says D, Pranav D, Ace D. Yep, Pranav says D, linear gradient. Absolutely right. Guys, y equals x plus 3 is going to be D. Why? Because it's a straight line, because it's in the form y equals mx plus c. The gradient is positive. The y-intercept is 3, so it's going to be a straight line which goes through 3 with a positive gradient. Let's do this one next. Y equals 1 over x. So we're going to do this one next. Y equals 1 over x. Which one's it going to be? Vote in the chat for me, guys. Y equals 1 over x. Is it going to be A, B, C, D, or E? Pranav says reciprocal, so C, that guy, C, A, C. Sana C, essay writer C, Rabia B, Neve C. Guys, if you said C, you're absolutely right. This is our reciprocal graph. To be honest, this is one which we just memorize. Y equals 1 over x is our reciprocal graph. I'll write it just in like that. So this was C. Next up, we're going to do this first one. Y equals x squared minus 4x. Choose your letter, team. What do you think? Is it A, B, or E? Y equals x squared minus 4x. Good job, Rabia. Good job, Ace. Good job, A. Exactly right. This one's our quadratic. So x squared means it's a quadratic, and the general shape of a quadratic is this happy face. So it's going to be B. Next up, let's do this one. 5 minus 2x. 5 minus 2x. Which one's it going to be, guys? Y equals 5 minus 2x. Lots of people saying A. Ace A. Yeah, well done, guys. So this is a straight line. It's in the form y equals mx plus c. We've just swapped around the m and the mx and the c. And the gradient is negative for this one, which means it's going to be downward sloping. Therefore, this one is A, and by process of elimination, this one is going to have to be E. Y equals x cubed minus 2. Y equals x cubed minus 2. The reason, by the way, that it has this general shape is because it's a cubic. Y equals x cubed minus 2. Guys, that is our final question of the day. Congratulations. I'm going to do two things now. One is going to be the party, which we always do. Before the party, because I know everybody's going to leave, guys, I'm going to do a quick reminder of those Google reviews. So if you're watching on the TikTok, it's in my profile page. If you're watching on the YouTube, you can see it pinned. Guys, if you haven't already, please consider leaving a review on Google. It really, really helps me. There have been a few trolls, let's say, or annoying people rating like 1 star for no reason, or saying like somebody said 1 pound fish, 1 star review. So we need to overpower them because it has pulled the average down. So guys, if you could do a review, I would really, really appreciate it. Now, for everybody else who's not going to do one or has already done one, guys, at the end of every session, we throw a little party. What does that mean? It means that we spam the chat full of as many good vibe emojis as we can. Dancer emojis, disco emojis, party emojis. And if you're feeling really good, follow Neve's lead and go for the lightning bolt emoji, the My GCSE Maths. I can't say trademark. The My GCSE Maths channel emoji, the My GCSE Math channel emoji. Why do we do this, guys? To spread a bit of good vibes and to take a moment to appreciate the work that we're putting in. GCSEs is not easy. As somebody who's been through the process, GCSEs, A levels, university, all the way through the ringer, I can tell you that, in my opinion, GCSEs are the hardest part. Why? Because, guys, you have so many exams, so many subjects. It's like it never ends, GCSEs, right? You have so many exams, just goes on and on and on. So, yeah, it's important to take a moment as you're putting in the work to appreciate the work that you're putting in. It's a grind, it's a slog, but guys, take a moment to appreciate the work that you're putting in. And you've probably not done this since you were a kid, unless you've been joining these lives. But guys, close your eyes for me. Take a moment and give yourself a little pat on the back. Hopefully it'll make you smile, because it should. Guys, that is to commemorate yourself for the hard work that you're putting in. Sarah's spamming W in the chat. Very nice. Looks like I'm doing a gang sign or something. Neve says pat, pat, pat. I'm going to have a quick look to see if anybody left a Google review just now. Thank you, Mendez. Thank you, Stanley. Oh, no, that's familiar, actually. Any more for any more? Let's have a look. Ah, yeah, some people did. Gabe did. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rehan. Thank you, Yahim. Come on. Said 5 pound fish. Let's go. Mohammed says very good math skills. Thank you very much. VK said BBQ beef and ranked 3 stars. That's a little bit annoying, but hey ho. Thank you, Tala, for reviewing. Thank you, Hadi. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everybody watching on the TikTok, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Emmy. Thank you, M. Barley. Thank you, Y. Guys, fantastic session this evening. Fantastic, not this evening, this afternoon. I can still see the chat popping off. Guys, I'm going to do a little bit of a chilled Q&A at the end. We're gonna be about 5 minutes, maybe 10. You can ask me any questions. What I'll do is I'll set the little Q&A up on YouTube. A lot of people are asking for the hair tutorial. I'll speak about what I do with my hair. I'll speak about that. Okay. Um, Start Q&A. Say something. Ask questions here. Okay, I'll just do that. Okay, let me hop back to the chat because I did see a few in the chat. HZ said I might get a kitten. Any name suggestions? Oh, good question. Float it out to the chat. See what the chat say. There's 80 of us on here at the moment. Okay. Yeah, lots of people asking for the hair care routine. Okay, guys, I will tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do. The number one thing, or no, I mean, um, so basically, I wash it. I use conditioner, but I only wash it twice a week. Twice a week, maybe once every 5 days. So I'm not washing it that often, but I do use conditioner probably every other day. So 4 out of 5 days, I use conditioner, but I don't wash it. So that's one thing I'll say. So that's the main thing, the main secret that not many people know. Obviously, if I'm training, I have to wash it more often, but like if I'm getting sweaty and stuff. But yeah, you're actually not supposed to wash your hair every day because it strips all of the natural oils out of it. You want to leave that in. And then the other thing I do is on the days that I do wash it, because if I wash it and condition it and don't put anything in it, it goes all fluffy and frizzy. So I have there's a product called Wavy, which is like it stops curly hair from going frizzy basically. Sona said, wash your hair twice a week, gang, for real. Yeah. Sonne said, you train. I do train. To be honest, I've been slacking hard over the last like 8 months, but throughout my life, yeah, I've trained a lot. And as soon as GCSEs are done, I'm going to get back into it. And I'm very excited. I still train like 3 times a week, but I'm doing very minimal training sessions. So when I'm on job, I'm doing like, resistance training, bit of plyometrics, all this different stuff. At the moment, my workouts have been very poor. I literally go to the gym. I do a few sets of pull-ups. I do a few sets of push-ups. I do sled pushes, bit of stretching, and then I call it a day. Sled pushes people sleep on. It's probably the goat exercise. A lot of gyms don't have it, but when you have like a sled, you put weight on it and then you push the sled. It engages your whole body at the same time. Awesome exercise. Okay. Somebody saying, how tall are you? 5'10". Um, VO2 said W's in the chat if you want more foundation lives. Issa Butt said, remember me? I said you were the best maths teacher on YouTube. I do remember, Issa. I do remember. Aquafina says, okay, bye, guys. Adios, Aquafina. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look at the questions thing because I didn't look at that. That guy said, I don't take GCSEs. How do they work? Good question. So basically, when you're 16 in the UK, you sit some exams. Some people are technically 15. Some do older, some do younger. But it's the exams that everybody sits. You do maths, English, science. You do a bunch of different optional subjects. That's 3 maths exams, and that's what we're out here doing, revising for those. The essay writer said, do you work as an economist? No, I don't work as an economist. I don't work as an economist. My degree is in economics, but I don't work as an economist. Guy with no face said, are you fully German or are you German? So I have nothing to do with Germany. I do speak German because I did it for GCSE. And I did a little bit more afterwards as well. So yeah, I used to speak German. I'm not very good anymore, to be honest. I've not spoken for a very long time. For some reason, the Google Maps, the Google reviews things, it looks like I'm in Germany. I'm in the UK. I'm in the UK. James asked said, what hairstyling products do you use? It's just one called Wavy. It's just one called Wavy. I only started using it a couple weeks ago. Um, Psyche said, "What are your other hobbies, and do you recommend any specific jobs for the summer?" Jobs for the summer. You could do anything. You could do anything. It's really good to start working when you're young to get used to it. I worked in hospitality. I worked in a department store as well. So I was like a waiter in a restaurant when I was 15, 16. I started tutoring when I was quite young, so I did that. But I would really recommend hospitality, to be honest. It's even though it is difficult and it's long and it's a lot of effort, you learn some good life skills and you learn a lot of things which are good to know. You learn about patience, you learn about being polite, you learn about dealing with different types of people. You learn about speaking to strangers, like random people, which is good. Um, VO2 said, "What haircut do you get?" Um, to be honest, I've been going to the same guy now for 5 years. I'll give him a little shout out. It's called Vizart. It's in Chalk Farm in London. So it's like North London, near where Camden is. And to be honest, now I just go, I sit down and I say, same as usual, mate. And then he sorts me out. It's called the Axe Club. It's called the Axe Club. I would thoroughly recommend it. Guy with no face says, "Can you wear a funny blow up costume?" That will not be happening. That will not be happening. Um, James R said, "What's your full name?" I'm not going to be sharing that. Psyche said, "Sir, you should low key do a Discord server or something." There is a Discord server. There is a Discord server, but to be honest, I don't promote it too much because Discord has a habit of just getting out of hand. Like, to be honest, there's a bunch of idiots on Discord just mess up different servers. So that's why I don't really promote it. Um, Krupal said, "Can you go through the first principle of integration, which is integration by the sum of areas?" I'm not going to do that here because it's a GCSE maths live stream, not an A level one. But I'm sure there are good videos on YouTube. Good question, BBN Animations. Who is your idol? Your idol? What does idol mean? I don't really have an idol. There's a few people on the internet who I think are pretty good examples for people. There's a guy called Patrick Bet David. There's a guy called Andrew Huberman, both of whom I think are pretty good examples for people. Um, Isabot said, "Here's a maths joke: five fourths of people admit they're bad with fractions." um, Sarah said, "What's the link for the Discord?" You can actually see it. It should be in the description of the video, or at least kind of it pops up and you can click a button and it will take you there. Um, NJ said, "Marginal Lewis Hamilton." Yeah, pretty good shout. Pretty good shout. He seems good enough. I don't know too much about him, um, apart from the fact that he's at least used to be very, very good. Oh yeah, the Spotify playlist, guys. I need to drop that actually. So it's been very highly requested for me to share my playlists that I listen to while I'm doing the live streams because I'm always listening to music and I'm always asking you guys if you can hear it because if you can, then it'll get flagged for copyright. But people have been asking for the link to the playlist. So guys, this is the tunes that I listen to during the live. It's very much Afro beats. Uzair said, "Do you watch football?" To be honest, not too much. I'm more into the UFC, a little bit of the F1 as well. Young Knight said, "How to stay motivated while revising?" Honestly, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Um, I think countdowns are good. I think countdowns are good. Knowing that what you're going through now is only going to be like 2 more weeks or something, I think is very motivating. Um, yeah, that's what I would say. In terms of motivation, revision techniques and tools and how to focus, that's a different conversation. But the best motivation, to be honest, is knowing that you guys don't have long to go. HZ said, "I just want summer." Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm looking forward as well, guys. I'm looking forward as well. Ah, thank you, Adjan. Said you're the most underrated teacher. I've never seen a teacher like you that can teach fast and effectively. Can you do grade 9 videos on the hardest questions, please? I'm not going to have time, unfortunately, before the end of this year, but for next year, 100% I'm going to do that. Next year, I'm really going to grow the YouTube. So, to be honest with you guys, I've not tried to grow the YouTube channel too much yet because I've just been trying to get used to how to do the live streams, kind of working on my craft, trying to get better and better at doing these kind of live lessons on YouTube and TikTok. You know, because it's quite difficult teaching 500 people at a time or 1,000 people at a time and just working the different aspects of it. But next year, I'm going to be making way more YouTube videos. Way more YouTube videos. Pablo says John Jones or Tom Aspinall. If you mean who would win, it's hard to bet against John Jones. It's hard to bet against John Jones. Aspinall is a beast, though. Aspinall is a beast. Ah, that's good to hear, man. So the amount of videos I've viewed from you, you teach better than my private tutors. Hey, thank you very much. That's good to hear. Well, I mean, it's partially good to hear. Ideally, your tutors would be amazing, but it's nice to me at least. Um, Haha, thank you, HC. VO2 said, "Have you ever run into a fan in public before?" I don't know if I'd call it a fan. I don't know if that's the words I would use, but I have bumped into people who have recognized me, maybe like 10, 20 times. Guys, if you do see me around, feel free to come say hi. I'll just say hello and check how you're getting on, you know. um, oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Okay, guys, I'm gonna call it a day there. I'm gonna say, actually, let me just have a quick check back, see if there's any more good questions in the thing. Oh yeah, not too many. Neve said, Matt, I would get a selfie with you if I saw you in the wilderness. That's perfectly okay. No one's actually asked for a selfie yet. That's Mal said, honestly, I don't think I will ever bump into you. I live in the Middle East. Yeah. I'm actually probably I'm going to Turkey in about a month, which is not really Middle East, but it's close. And then I'm probably gonna head to Dubai after that for a bit. I have a good friend over there. So maybe, you never know. I don't know where in the Middle East you live. VO2 said, have you been to Birmingham before? Definitely. I'm actually from Derbyshire. I'm actually from Derbyshire. HZ said, adios, Matt. Enjoy your day. Drink your warm water with honey and lemon and rest. Yes, sir. Guys, I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely do that. Okay. Guys, I'm going to say adios. Arrivederci. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Goodbye, Sam. Hope you're well too. Goodbye, guy with no face. Goodbye, Psyche. Ah, cool sauna. Not far away at all. Goodbye, VO2. Goodbye, Musab. Goodbye, Rabia. Goodbye, Neve. Goodbye, A. Goodbye, that guy, Musab. Sauna. The essay writer says bye. Adios, Mohammed. Goodbye, Val Ely. Okay, guys, adios. Arrivederci. Ciao, ciao, ciao. See you in the next one. A presto.